Hello there, this is What If Unknown. Now, before I get into the video, I have a few announcements or things I'd like to say. So, one is I'm going to be having 3 what ifs running. Now, 2 of them are going to be the ones that I already have up, which is what if Naruto was raised in the Sand Village and what if Naruto was raised in the Waterfall Village. Now, um, I I kind of am stuck on where I kind of want to go with what if Naruto was raised in the Waterfall Village, but I kind of have an idea. So that'll be um, that'll be coming out, I think, soon. I hope. Um, and I also will be obviously coming out with what if Naruto was raised in the Sand Village, because I know where I want to go with this, with that what if, and I'm excited. So the new what if that I'm going to be doing today, or starting today, is what if Naruto went rogue. Okay, so let me get into a little bit of information for this. What if Naruto went rogue? Now, Minato will be kind of what's the word? He neglects Naruto. He's the person to me. Him and Naruto, or Menma, which is Naruto's brother. So Naruto's gonna have a brother and sister in this what if, and Menma is a copy and paste of Minato. Um, as yeah, so he's gonna be neglecting Naruto as well, kind of hating him. But Naruto will have, his mother will love him, and his sister will also look up to him and love him the same. So yeah. Now let me get into the what if. Now we begin when the Nine Tails attack. Now Minato is fighting Obito, and he beats Obito way faster than in canon. So he goes in and he seals what he thinks is just the soul of the Nine Tails into Naruto, as he seals 5% of Kurama's chakra into Kushina, so she's able to survive, and then he seals the other chakra into his other 2 children. But what he failed to see was that he sealed 50% of the chakra into Naruto. Naruto has the soul of the Nine Tails, and he has the 50% of Kurama's power, as his brother and his sister have 10%, and his mother has 5%, like I said. So, and kind of Naruto having the soul of the Nine Tails kind of fuels Minato's hatred towards Naruto. So that's partially why he hates him. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so, that happens. Okay, now we skip, I'm gonna say, a few years, or 4 years, as Jiraiya comes into Minato's house, and he calls Minato to tell Kushina and his 3 children to come into the living room, as they do. As Jiraiya says that the Toad Sage has said that there will be a child of prophecy or prophecies from the 4th Hokage's kids. As Jiraiya says, I believe that it is either Menma or Yuna Uzumaki, but not Naruto. It cannot be Naruto, obviously, because for this what if to work, Jiraiya just gives some stupid reason. Anyway, now we get in. As Minato is kind of happy because he doesn't want Naruto to be, the child of prophecy. So, now, Kushina's kind of mad, but she doesn't kind of show it, because she's kind of mad that Jiraiya's kind of doesn't think that it could be Naruto, So now, I'm going to get in, before I move any further, this is the appearance of the children. So, Menma is a copy and paste of Minato, so he's basically he basically looks like Naruto in canon, without the whiskers, because, and Yuna, which is Naruto's sister, it looks like a younger version of Kushina. Now Naruto looks like a male version of Kushina with Minato's blue eyes. So, and he still has his whisker marks. As, yeah. Now we get back into the what if, or we continue. So, as Minato goes over to Kushina and pulls her aside and says that he thinks that they should put Naruto either in the orphanage or in an apartment because he wants to focus on the other two children because just in case if either one of them are the child of prophecy, he wants to make sure that they're both strong. As Kushina says, why don't you also train Naruto just in case if he is the true child of prophecy? You never know, because Toad Sage never gave you a description. He just said that he was one of our children. So Minato says that demon will never be the child of prophecy, as Kushina kind of gets mad and smacks him and says, how dare you? He's your child. He's our son, as Minato says that Naruto is basically just a demon, as Naruto kind of heard this, as he kind of starts tearing up, but he doesn't, he kind of holds back the tears, as Kushina says, fine, but you will not put him in an orphanage like you want to. You're going to give him an apartment, and I will check on him every day, or every other day. As Minato says, fine, I'm fine with that. As they go back, as Naruto heard this, but he didn't tear up to try to show not to show weakness in front of his sister, because he cares about his sister a lot. As he does care about Menma, but later on in the story he will not. But yeah. So now we keep continuing. So Jiraiya says that's a good idea to put Naruto in an apartment so that the other two can continue training, as Yuna is kind of saddened by this because she loved Naruto and she doesn't want her big brother to leave her, because Naruto is always there for her and always talks to her and he's the sun for her. His bright attitude always keeps her upbeat and is always happy when she's down, which she kind of, as this happened, or as Kushina and Minato kind of take Naruto to the apartment, and Yuna's kind of sad and kind of asks Kushina if she could live with Naruto, as she says no. As Kushina says, no, I'm sorry, but you need to stay with us because you need to train. As Yuna's sad and says, this isn't fair. Naruto shouldn't have to go through this. And as you know, Naruto is only 4 years old, and so are they, but Naruto is just a little bit older. As Yuna's kind of more mature for her age, obviously, So Kushina says, yeah, I know this, but me and you will visit him every day, or when you can't, So as Yuna says, okay, as she goes up to Naruto, as she hugs him, as Kushina says, I'll be back to cook you dinner, as Naruto nods his head and goes into his apartment. Now I'm going to go to Nami, as Nami Uzumaki, that is my OC. Now Nami just got kicked out of the orphanage due to her Genkais. Well, only one unlocked, which is her lava release, as she kind of burnt the orphanage a little bit down with her lava. Not completely, but yeah. So the orphanage mother or whatever kind of asked the fourth Hokage if she can live in an apartment or something, because she endangers everybody in the orphanage, as Minato obliges the mother, or the orphanage mother. So Nami will be having the same or having an apartment right next to Naruto, so Nami gets into an apartment and she's kind of saddened, but she doesn't really cry because she knows that she's kind of scared of her own power. she's kind of scared of her Geki Genkai. So, yeah. Now, let me think here. As she goes in, she hears that over next door that she hears a boy crying. As she's wondering why the boy is crying, she says she's thinking maybe I should go over there and see if I could help. As all of a sudden, she hears somebody knock, not on her door, but the door next to her. As she says, I wonder. As this, because we skipped a few hours until or to dinner time. As Kushina comes over, Yuna has had to stay for. So Kushina comes in and talks to Naruto as she cooks some dinner. As Naruto kind of wiped away his tears before his mother came in. As they made dinner and they talked, and Nami was hearing their conversation about what happened and about how Naruto has the soul of the Nine Tails and so on. So she's kind of shocked, but she says, I'll try to make friends with him later so he's not alone. As she hears Kushina tell Naruto that she'll be back. As Kushina leaves. Now we skip to the next day. We skip to the next day, because next day Kushina comes over, makes Naruto breakfast, and then she has to leave to go do some things. As Naruto kind of walks to the park, as Nami saw Naruto leave from his apartment, as she kind of follows him, because she noticed that he has the same red hair as her, as she knows that there are a few other Uzumaki in this village, or in the Leaf Village, and she knows one is Princess Kushina, which she's part of the royal family, and that she had 3 children, so she's saying that he must be one of her children. As Naruto goes and gets on a swing and starts crying, as Nami sees this and is kind of saddened, because she's like, why is he crying? Or she knows why he's crying because of the thing, but she's just thinking, this isn't fair to a little boy. As she sees a few kids come up, because at this time, because Minato kind of announced, or Danzo and Minato, because Danzo kind of corrupted Minato a little bit, to where he released that Naruto has the soul. As a few Genin come up to Naruto, as they start calling him names like Demon Fox, Demon Brat. You killed some of our family members. You killed my grandpa that I never even got to meet. How dare you? As they keep throwing rocks and stuff. As Nami sees this, and she kind of gets angry, as she jumps in front of him, and her lava release starts leaking out, and says, leave the kid alone, or I'll hurt you, or you'll regret it. As the kids say, whatever, you're just 4 years old, what can you do? As her lava release gets stronger, because before it was just leaking, or just little drops. As it gets more, as lava kind of goes in like a whip, and kind of like go towards the 2 Genin, as they run away in fear. As Nami goes up to her and says, are you okay? As Naruto says, why'd you do that? As Nami goes, because I wanted to. You shouldn't be alone. Why are you sad? As Naruto says, don't worry about it, in his sad voice, as he says, thank you for protecting me, as he bows and goes back to the apartment. As Nami's kind of sad, because he doesn't want to, because she wanted to befriend him, but she couldn't really talk to him. So this goes on. We're going to cut to a few weeks. As this keeps happening, more and more people kind of show up to start kind of throwing stuff at Naruto, as Naruto is just kind of taking the beating, because Nami's not always there, because she's doing some stuff sometimes, but Nami, every time she always tries to protect him, as she knows this happens every day. And yeah, so now one day in these past few weeks, because Naruto has been getting run around the village by the villagers, because they're trying to like basically beat him up. And one day the villagers kind of went a little bit too far, as they trapped him into an alley, and they all start beating him up. But one of them, at this time, Naruto just turned 5. Okay, yeah. So Naruto just turned about 5, as this is all happening, as they're all beating him up, and then one person came out with a knife and rushed Naruto and kind of cut his throat, which cut his voice box. But Nami saw this and quickly got Kushina, because I'm gonna say Kushina happened to be around this area, as she went quickly and got Kushina, as Kushina comes in and she kind of knocks almost everybody out, as the person that did it ran away with their blade in fear of Kushina. As Kushina slowly picks up Naruto, as Naruto's throat is he's just bleeding badly, as Kushina starts doing medical ninjutsu as much as she can to help heal. But now all this is happening, and he wakes up in his mindscape as he sees Kurama, or the Nine Tails, and he says, "Oh, it's you." As Kurama says, "Yeah, how do you know what I am or who I am?" As Naruto says, "Well, my mom told me that I have the soul of the Nine Tails in me." As Kurama says, "Yes," in a sad tone, as Naruto says, "Why are you sad?" As Kurama says, "Well, it's because those people went too far. It's even worse that they were beating you up, but it even got even worse because they actually slit your throat, and I'm using as much chakra as I can to heal you as fast as you can, as long as your mother is there." As Naruto says, "Oh," in his sad tone. As Naruto says, "Do you think it's bad to where I may never speak again?" As Kurama says, "I don't know," in a sad tone. As he says, "Most likely, you may never speak again, but hopefully, one day you will." Hopefully. As Naruto kind of wakes up and tries to say something to his mom, but nothing came out, as Kushina starts crying with tears falling down her face, as Naruto grabs her face and kind of smiles. As Nami's there too, as she's crying because of all the blood and everything that happened, as she saw Naruto's throat slice open. As Kushina got it healed, but she says to Naruto that she's sorry that this has happened, that you went too far. Pause for a second. I'm actually kind of tearing up, so don't judge me. Even though this is my story, I'm kind of sad to my own story. Anyway, let me get back into the letter. As Kushina says, as she goes and embraces Naruto in a hug, as she says, "I'm sorry, Naruto, but I did as much healing as I can, and it seems that the Nine Tails has too, but the knife cut your voice box or vocal cords to where I don't even know if anybody could heal it." As she kind of feels tears from Naruto's eyes going down her back of her shirt, because Naruto obviously can't speak, as she kind of picks up Naruto and takes him to his apartment, because at this time Naruto's thing is stable, and at this point, because I'm going to say Kushina knows a lot about medical ninjutsu because of Lady Tsunade, because before the Nine Tails and everything happened, Lady Tsunade kind of helped or gave Kushina some healing things, so she's as good at the hospital's healing in, so she does that. And she takes him back, as she says, "I'll be staying with you tonight," as Nami asks Kushina if she could stay there too, as she says, "Who are you?" As Nami explains that she's neighbors of Naruto, and she's obviously also an Uzumaki, as she explains to Kushina, so explains everything, and she's like, "Yeah," she's like, "It'd be nice to have or have Naruto, or at least he has one friend, as she smiles at him, or smiles at, as Kushina smiles at Nami. Now, the next day, because Kushina stayed with Naruto all night, as the next day she comes back to the house, and she still has some blood, as Minato and then Yuna saw this, as they're like, why is there blood on you? Is that your blood? Are you okay? As Minato ran up, as Kushina smacks Minato, as Minato says, what is that for? Why are you okay? As Minato gets slapped again by Kushina, as he's in shock, as she tells Yuna to go to her room, as Yuna only goes partially up the stairs, because she wants to hear what's going on. So Kushina starts yelling at Minato, saying, why did I ever allow you to let Naruto live on his own? He's only 5 years old, and for some reason you're freaking dumb and announce that he is the soul of the Nine Tails. What is wrong with you? How dare you? As he says, what happened? As she says, thanks to you, our son may never speak again. As Minato says, I would never want him to speak to me. As she smacks him again and says, no, to anyone. As he says, what do you mean? As Kushina goes, one of your beloved villagers slit its throat, but luckily my healing ninjutsu was able to stabilize him. As Minato is kind of shocked, but he's thinking in his head kind of, I'm sorry for Naruto, but he kind of deserves it because he hates Naruto. As Yuna kind of hears this and starts tearing up, as she goes to her room, as Kushina says, I'll be back. I just needed to get new clothes to get the blood off. As she gives Minato a death glare, as Minato kind of just walks away. As this happens, now we cut to Naruto, as Naruto's looking in the mirror and is kind of tearing up, as he's thinking in his head he'll never be able to probably speak again, as he goes into his mindscape to where he can talk in his mindscape, because anything is possible in his mindscape. And as he starts talking to Kurama and says, this isn't fair. I hate the village. I wish it would just burn. He says the only few reasons that I maybe wouldn't want this village to go away is my mom and my sister and my one and only friend, Nami. As Kurama is still saddened because of what happened to Naruto. As Kurama says, come here. As he goes into the cage, as Naruto goes into the cage, and the Nine Tails says, here, lay on my tail, this will comfort you. As Naruto goes and lays on the tail of the Nine Tails, and kind of feels a warmth radiating off of him, and he says, thank you, as he starts crying. And then he goes to sleep, as we cut to Kurama saying in his head, this village is so corrupt. This is so bad. The kid this age should never have this much pain. We should never go through this. As Kurama lays his head down and kind of smiles at Naruto sleeping. As we cut to about when Kushina comes back after she got new clothes. As she sees Naruto sleeping, as she sits down on the couch and kind of smiles, she has a chair next to Naruto and starts rubbing his head as she kind of smiles and says, I'm sorry, Naruto, for everything that has happened to you. So now we cut a few days later, as as Kushina, her family summoning will be the wolf summoning, like I've done in the other What If. So, the summoning, she summons a wolf, because she's even tried, or she tried getting a wolf to see if, because there's so many different wolves in this, where one heals and so on, and she even tried to get the wolf that heals, and asked if they could do anything because their healing capabilities are way better than hers, but unfortunately, the wolf says there's nothing it can do. This is too severe. As she kind of starts tearing up, as the wolf says, "I'm sorry, Lady Kushina, but we have another idea that can help your son." As Kushina says, "Really? What can we even do?" As the fox, or no, sorry, not a wolf summoning. I'm sorry, a fox summoning. I'm sorry. So the fox summoning is, I'm gonna say it's only to Kushina, Yuna, and Naruto, as she doesn't want to give it to Menma or she doesn't allow Menma or Minato to do or get the fox summoning because of their treatment towards Naruto. Okay. So the fox goes and says, well, we can have one of our other fox brethren or other foxes and come out, and because of him having the nine tails and being an Uzumaki, he will be able to keep a summoning out, or either one is good. As she says, what do you mean Naruto only has a soul? As the fox says, no, Naruto has 50% of the nine tails chakra, as the fox can sense the chakra. As she says, oh, what does that mean then? And then the fox explains that that Kushina has 5% of the chakra to survive, obviously, after the nine tails extraction, and that the other two children have 10% of the chakra, and that is why Naruto was able to survive as long as he did, while you were not there or before you got there, the nine tails already started healing Naruto's throat to try to keep him surviving before. As Kushina says, oh, well, that's good. As she's thinking in her head, I will not tell Minato about Naruto having the chakra. She says, so how do we get Naruto having the fox summoning so the fox can talk for him? As the fox goes and unsummons itself and then comes back, as they bring in a fox with multiple tails, a white fox with multiple tails. Kind of like, it looks like a mini version of Kurama, but white. So, yeah. Anyway, as they said, as the white fox looks at Naruto, as this is a female fox, as she says, what has happened to Kushina's boy? As they explain about Naruto, as the fox is saddened and says, oh, I see. So you would like me to stay summoned in? Because in this fox has multiple abilities. One is to able to hear Naruto's thoughts. I'm going to say this fox is only able to hear his thoughts and Kushina's because of their summoning. Okay. So the fox goes, I will gladly do that for this boy. As Kushina says, thank you. So, yeah. Now we skip a few years into the academy. Now Naruto will be wearing a mask, and kind of like Kakashi, but it's like Kakashi's, yeah. But the fox is always, so anyway, the fox is always summoned, obviously, because Naruto needs her to talk. Except for he can use sign language, but it's faster for the wolf to talk for him. As they go into the academy, as I'm gonna say, Aruka, obviously he won't hate him. As Kushina will go up to Aruka before. Okay, so let me skip back. So Kushina takes Naruto to get registered, as they go in, and they as Kushina takes Naruto in, and they meet up with Aruka. As Aruka says, "How are you doing, Naruto?" But at this point, he doesn't know about Naruto's throat, or about him getting his voice box basically cut out, or not cut out, but basically destroyed. So he tries, and he says to Kushina, "Why isn't he talking?" As she kind of gets a sad face on her and says, "Because his voice box, or his vocal cords are broken to on repair." So, as she says, this lovely fox will be speaking for Naruto. As Naruto says, or as the fox says that Naruto is saying that he is good. As Aruka kind of looks away and he kind of tears up and says, "Okay, I understand." So they go in and Kushina kind of gets him settled. As we skip to the first day, as Naruto comes, or the whole class is there, as Aruka and brings in Naruto, as they see, as the whole class sees a white fox with multiple tails right by Naruto, in Naruto's arms, because Naruto is holding the fox, because the fox allowed this. So the fox is holding in Naruto, or is inside Naruto's arms as Naruto is holding it. As Aruka says, "This is Naruto Uzumaki, and he is a new student today." As everybody is saying, "Why does he have that fox? Why? He shouldn't have animals." Oh, as they say, or as one person, which is Choji, or no, multiple people, Choji and Shikamaru say, "Well, Kiba has an animal, so why can't he?" As the whole class goes, "Oh, but why does he have the fox, and why does he wear a mask on his face? Is he trying to look cool?" As Aruka says, "Class, that is disrespectful." As the fox says, Naruto says it's fine. As all class is saying, why is the fox speaking for the boy? And why does a fox speak? As Aruka says, "Well, class, Naruto cannot talk." As they're all like, "Why does he just mute? Does he just not talk?" As Naruto lifts his mask, as they see a scar going down across Naruto's neck. As everybody's shocked, as Naruto puts his mask back down. As Aruka says, "You can sit down now." As he goes back in the back, right next to Shikamaru, Shikamaru says, "Hi." As he says, nice to meet you." As Naruto quickly does hand signs and says, "Nice to meet you too." Or, not hand signs, but or just hand signs saying that he is good. So that happens. So now we go in and now we skip a few years, as we're only gonna skip 2 years in the academy. So Naruto is about 9 and 10. He's about 9 to 10 years old. As Kushina comes over and she tells Naruto that she's going to be training him a little bit because she feels bad. As in this past few years, Yuna has come over and hugged Naruto and talked to him. As she likes the fox, she thinks he's so cute, or she's so cute. As she asks Naruto what's the name of the fox. As the fox says, "My name is Anna." As Yuna says, "You're so cute, Anna." As she says, or as Anna the wolf, or not wolf, Anna the fox says, "I must go back to Naruto." As she goes back and says that Naruto says, "Thank you for coming," and so on. So now we cut back to Kushina saying that she's going to be training Naruto, as she trains Naruto in taijutsu, in the Anbu style taijutsu, because she was in the Anbu, and she teaches him in kenjutsu. As she says, she says, "I'll be teaching you this for now until you we get close to graduation. As we skip another year before, 1 year before graduation, as Naruto already unlocked his chakra, as Kushina brings in the chakra paper, as she says, "Would you like to see your chakra natures?" As the fox speaks for Naruto, saying, as Anna says, yes, Naruto would like that. As she says tell him to put his chakra into the paper. So Naruto puts his chakra into the paper. As it crumbles up, slices in half. One half goes into fire, the other half dampens, and the other one hardens. And all of a sudden, Kushina sees that all of a sudden, a piece of the paper turns into wood. And she says, "Wait, does he have wood style?" As the fox, Anna, I'm just gonna say, since she's a fox, she can talk to Kurama, because Naruto allows Kurama to talk sometimes for him. As Anna says, the Ninetales says, yes, he does have wood style. As Kushina's like, wait, the Ninetales is speaking? As Anna says, yes. As Kurama feels bad for what happened to Naruto, or the Ninetales feels bad for what happened to Naruto, and that he cares for the boy and that he'll protect him no matter what. As she says, thank you. Or as Kushina says, tell him that I said thank you. As she says, can you ask Ninetales if he can explain why Naruto has wood release? As Anna, the fox, says that Kurama is telling me that since the Uzumaki are kind of part of, or kind of cousins of the Senju, that he has the gene for wood style. As Kushina's kind of shocked but happy. As Kushina says, this is amazing that you have all 4 chakra natures, because I have water and earth. As water, earth, and I'm going to say she has lightning, because that'd be cool. She says, I could train you in those 3 natures, as she does. So now we skip a few years. Now Naruto has mastered the Anbu style of taijutsu, along with he's mastered swordsmanship, but he's as one-handed wielding, or kenjutsu, as he's, for the last year, he's been asking his mom if she could teach him how to use 2 blades. As she says yes. She says very few people use dual-bladed wielding for swords, but she says there was once these 2 blades from the Uzumaki clan that have been lost, but maybe you'll be able to find them. As she says, they're really powerful. They're stronger than any of the 7 swordsmen of the mist. So now we skip to the graduation, as we go in, and now everything's going to be kind of similar again, but Naruto, obviously, he knows how to do, he's learned Shadow Clone since he's learned about his massive chakra reserves, and he's worked on his chakra control. But Kushina's talked about how the massive chakra reserves are kind of made it hard for the Uzumaki to do regular clones, so she taught him Shadow Clones and so on. She told him the secret of the Shadow Clones. So Naruto does Shadow Clones for the clone jutsu, as Iruka's shocked but happy, because Iruka's kind of like the father figure for Naruto, even though Minato should have been, but Minato and this is kind of, Anyway, so Iruka's kind of gleaming with happiness, and him being proud of Naruto for doing it. And he's kind of shocked that Naruto knows the Shadow Clone, as they go on. Now he does the transformation jutsu, which he transforms into Nami, in the last few years, Naruto and Nami have been really good friends as they've been hanging out a lot and they've been training even. And thanks to Naruto, because he's also taught her the Shadow because of her vast chakra reserves that they've, and yeah. So they've trained a lot, and Naruto and her are really close to the same level in everything except for she has fire release, earth release, and we'll say water release. So she only has 3 natures, but Naruto kind of helps her with that. Now we get back into it. So he transforms into Nami, as Haruka says, "Nice job, Naruto," as he does the kunai and shuriken throw test, as he aces it. Now, so we keep going on. So now we get down to the teams. Now I'm going to say that the teams aren't be the same canon, but Nami will be on Naruto's team along with Sasuke and Sakura. It's going to be a 4 team because I'm going to say that there is an odd number of people in this class, and so many graduated that they had to put an extra person on one other team. So they decided to put Nami on Naruto's team, as Kushina kind of recommended it, due to them having, Nami and Naruto having a close bond. And at this point, Nami kind of can tell, based off of Naruto's facial expressions, stuff like that. She can almost know what Naruto's thinking or is gonna say, because of her getting to know Naruto and knowing Naruto for a long time. She almost doesn't need the fox to tell her, but sometimes she does. But yeah, so Nami and Naruto kind of sit together as every other team goes, as Sakura and Sasuke there, as Sakura is being her useless self and gawking all over Sasuke, as Sasuke is being his brooding, well, not really brooding, because in this version, I forgot to mention that the Uchiha have not got massacred. So the Uchiha clan obviously abandoned the coup, so they stayed alive. So Sasuke's happy and blah blah in this version, so he's not lusting for power and so on. So we keep going, and so Sasuke, I'm gonna say he talks to Sakura because he's not his brooding self. So he's gonna talk to Sakura, as he's kind of jealous of Naruto because he sees the power that he has, but he doesn't care about power. He's kind of jealous because Naruto's strong, but he's thinking because he's an Uchiha and that his brother and his father trained him that he's stronger, which he's not gonna be. Anyway, so we go on. As Sasuke's talking to her, as Nami's kind of talking to Naruto, as Naruto is kind of doing sign language, as the fox is kind of sleeping because it is exhausted, because, why not? As Naruto's doing hand signs or whatever to talk with Nami, as she, all Sasuke and Sakura hears is Nami is just responding to Naruto, but they obviously don't hear Naruto talk. I'm gonna say that Sakura and Sasuke were not there the day that Naruto got introduced, and because Naruto came in a little bit later, as I'm gonna say Sasuke was sick and Sakura, whatever. So they were not there that day. So they were like, Sasuke gets up and kind of gets mad and says, "Why aren't you speaking, you dope?" As Naruto kind of looks at Sasuke with a "Are you serious?" look. Are you done? But he obviously can't say anything. He's just giving that emotion. And he's like, "Why are you even wearing that mask? Are you trying to look cool?" As before Nami could say anything, Sakura goes up and says, "Yeah, are you trying to be cooler than Sasuke?" Because Sasuke still tries to act cool, and Sakura, yeah. So, we go on. And as Nami goes, are you guys dumb? Or are you just not here that day? Huh? He can't speak, as they're like, as Sasuke and Sakura are like, what do you mean? As Naruto lifts up his mask that he wears. As I'm gonna say that the mask is white with a red Uzumaki swirl on his face, or going down, or yeah. It's kind of, if you've seen Haku's mask with the red and white, it's kind of like that, but it's like just like a face mask like Kakashi's, but it has the Uzumaki symbol, like going down. That's how the design looks. That's how the mask looks, because I think that look cool. Anyway, let me get back into it. As Sasuke and Sakura see the scar, as Nami's seen it before, but she's kind of still shocked because it's still so visible and so bad. As the wolf wakes up and says, Naruto is asking, why are you so dense and why are you so blind? As he says, wait, the fox can speak? Because Sasuke's kind of spaces out a lot of times. He never hears the wolf speak. As the wolf says, yeah, I speak for Naruto since he can't speak. As you must be very dumb or blind to not notice me, or notice that Naruto never speaks. As Sasuke goes, I've heard your voice before, but I've always thought it was just Naruto. I thought he just had a feminine voice. As the wolf says, you're just a dumb Uchiha brat, Naruto, or as the fox says, Naruto says, and I say, or I agree. As Sasuke goes, whatever, you're not worth my time. As they go back and sitting down, as Kakashi comes in. Now because I'm going to say Kakashi checks in on Naruto because he's kind of not happy with Minato of how he's treated Naruto, and he's kind of angry that happened to Naruto, because I'm going to say that Kushina asked Kakashi to keep an eye on Naruto when she is not able to, as he did when he was younger, and he still does from time to time. But the night that his voice got, Naruto's voice got cut out, well, he was on a mission, so he could not be there. As Kushina knew this, but she thought that nothing would have come to Naruto's, thing. So anyway, we go back as Kakashi walks in, because it's been a few hours. So Sakura and Sasuke says, you're late, as Nami just sits there, because she knows Kakashi too, because Kakashi, Naruto, and Nami kind of talk, because like I said, that Kakashi kind of keeps an eye on him. Sometimes he comes in without his Zanbu stuff and kind of cooks and kind of takes Naruto to like the Ichiraku ramen and so on. As when Kakashi walked in, he says, you guys are all boring, as he looks up and sees, because at first he didn't see Naruto or Nami, as he says, where's the other two? As you say, they're up there. As Kakashi goes and looks and sees them and says, and smiles and says, how's it going, Nami and Naruto? And as Nami says, I've been good. As Naruto or the wolf for Naruto's, the wolf doesn't, or not wolf, fox, I don't know, I'm sorry, the fox doesn't speak because Naruto just does his sign language and says he's good. As Sasuke and Sakura go, wait, you already know those two? As Kakashi says, yeah, don't worry about it, you don't need to know. As he says, go up to the roof. As Naruto and Nami both body flicker. God dang it, sorry, there's an ad. 1 second. I hate ads. God dang it, another ad. Okay. Let me get back to it. Anyway. I don't like this. Okay, anyway, so we get back to it. As we go, and so Nami and them body flicker, to the roof, as Sasuke and Sakura are kind of shocked because they don't even know that technique. Because I'm gonna say Kakashi and not Kakashi, I mean Itachi and Fukaku never taught Sasuke that, because obviously they're thinking because he's a Genin, or he doesn't need to know that yet because he's not. He'll probably later on learn that from them. As they go up, and it takes Sasuke and Sakura like 10 minutes to get up to the flight of stairs. As during this time, as Kakashi is talking to Nami and Naruto, and Kakashi has kind of got into the same level as Nami to where they can read his facial expressions. As or read his facial expressions, and he and the wolf still, or not wolf, fox, okay, fox can, or talks for him as they go on, and they're just talking about things. As all of a sudden, Sasuke and Sakura appear, as Kakashi turns and says, "What took you so long?" As he says, "These two are already up here, just by a few seconds after me. So what took you guys so long?" And they're like, as Sasuke gives a, well, I how do they even do that? It's like they transported, like they teleported, as Kakashi says, in a way they did. As Sasuke goes, you gotta teach me that, Kakashi, or not Kakashi, Sensei, as Kakashi says, not yet, or your brother or your father will teach you later. As he says, but you just still didn't give me a reason. As they said, well, obviously as in Kakashi's head, as he said, well, we got a person, which he's referring to Sasuke, that he's apparently slow and doesn't pay attention. Or not slow, but he's kind of doesn't want to put in or try to get to places fast, or doesn't like to learn it. Well, no, sorry, scrap everything that I just said. So so they just go and sit down. Okay, how about that? They just all sit down. As Kakashi goes in and tells them to tell themselves, as Sakura tells them to tell about their dreams, and so on and so on and so forth. As Sakura does her little outburst and says the same thing. You should tell us that. As Kakashi says, well, my likes are really none of your business unless you're Naruto or Nami. My dislikes are none of your business. My goal, well, that's none of your business. And my dream is none of your business. As Sakura says, that doesn't give us much information about you. You just mentioned Naruto and Nami. Or no, but okay, no, let me redo Kakashi's thing, sorry. So his likes are hanging out with Nami, or taking care of Nami and Naruto. And his other likes are you don't need to know. And his dislikes are you don't need to know, and so on. And as Sakura does her little comment about, Naruto or about Kakashi only talking about Naruto and Nami. Well, and so Sakura does her little thing, well, the person I want to be is with, looks at Sasuke, and so on, and does her little thing. And then Sasuke does her, god dang it. Okay, anyway, so Sasuke is different, obviously, because the Uchiha clan is not massacred. So this is what Sasuke says. He says that he wants to surpass his big brother and his father, and in power, and he wants to become the next head of the family. As Kakashi goes, that's kind of bland, but I don't know if he could ever beat Itachi, but I guess he has his dream. As he says, you redhead, Nami. As Nami kind of gets a tick mark, but then kind of lets go because she knows it's a joke from Kakashi. As she goes, sorry. As Nami goes, well, The thing is, I want to protect somebody I care about. I want to be strong so I can protect somebody. As she kind of looks at Naruto, as Kakashi kind of catches this and kind of smiles and says, "Cool," or "Awesome." Naruto has somebody that wants to protect him. As she says, "And I want to be the strongest Uzumaki ever." Well, not ever. She wants to be one of the strongest Uzumakis, and one of the strongest the strongest Kunoichi ever. As Kakashi goes, those are great things. As she says, "My dreams are to be with somebody," but she doesn't look at Naruto because she doesn't want to be obvious, and she said, and so on. And she says, "My goal is to be strong, obviously, so I can protect the person I love." As Kakashi smiles, and he says, "Naruto, I already know," or he says, "I already know your goals, your dreams, everything you would like to. Would you like to see anything?" Or as Naruto kind of gives him like, "I don't know" look, as the wolf said, or no, the fox says, Naruto would like to say a little bit. As Kakashi says, "Oh," because normally Naruto doesn't really explain what he likes, or he was only told Nami and Kakashi what he likes in his dreams, but he's never said his dislikes. As the fox says that his likes are hanging out with his mother and his sister and Nami and Kakashi. His dislikes are none of your business, and his goal is none of your business. As Kakashi says, "Nice." As yeah, so they go on, and 1 second, now I have to itch my head. Anyway, so he tells them that they will be doing the bell test tomorrow, so don't eat. As Naruto and Nami already know the secret to the bell test due to them training with Kakashi and Kushina. So yeah. So Kakashi before though says, "Do not tell the other two about the trick." He says, Kakashi goes to Nami and Naruto and says, or gives him like a look saying, "Don't tell him about the bell test." As Naruto shakes his head yes, as Nami says, or does the same thing. As they go to the apartment. Now we skip to the next day, to the bell test. As he comes in and he notices, obviously, that Naruto and Nami ate because they already know the secret, as they expected that. And he kind of knows their abilities a little bit, and in this time, Kakashi has also taught Naruto a little bit of lightning jutsus due to, and a little bit of earth jutsus, because I think his affinities are that, I don't remember. Anyway, yeah. So, we go on, and they go to the bell test, as he says, "This is the first gaining team of 4 that I've ever seen." Sorry if you heard any of the cars in the background. Anyway, so we go on, as they start, he says, "Now, there's going to be 3 bells," as he says, "One of you guys are going to be taken out." Or no, sorry. He says that Nami, Sasuke, and Sakura will be doing the bell test, as he says that he already knows that Naruto knows the meaning or Naruto is too strong for this, because Naruto is, I'm going to say he's about tuning to almost tuning to almost Jonin level abilities, and he knows how to get people to work with him, or so on. So they're like, "That's not fair, so there's only 2 bells, I'm sorry. As Sakura and Sasuke says, "That's not fair, you should have to do the bell test too." As Kakashi says, "This is my team, I get to do whatever." As you're wondering, or as they're like, "Whatever." As they go on, as they disappear, except for Nami. Now, Nami says, "I'd like to test my abilities before this as they go on, as they start fighting, or taijutsu. They're going blow for blow, kick for kick, as Nami throws a kunai at Kakashi, and he dodges, but then all of a sudden Kakashi sees at the corner of his eye some lava coming at him, because Nami's been working on her lava release, obviously. She's going, and she's catches Kakashi off guard due to the lava release, and Kakashi had to get away as Nami goes and literally touches the bell, kind of like Sasuke, but she missed it because he did a substitution jutsu and got out of the way. As we go on, as she says, "Dang it," as she punches her fist to the ground. She says, "I thought I could have got it this time without Naruto's help. God dang it." As Kakashi says, "Dang, you're really close. I was scared there. I thought I was gonna freaking be melted from the lava." As they go on, as Nami does a thing and makes everybody work together, and they pass. Sorry, I'm not good at fighting scenes or anything. So they go on, as they say, or as Kakashi says, we'll be doing some D-rank missions, because he's already done his eye smile thing and saying you guys pass, and he tells about those who abandon missions are scum, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than scum.